You are going to hear something that's real, not something that someone made up. This is not a rumor that people talk about in secret. This is a video of a man talking. He says he is a mafia boss. On the video, the mafia boss says things that can change how people think about power, justice, and corruption in South Africa. The mafia boss talks about these things in a calm and ordinary way, like he is talking about something normal. What the mafia boss says on the video is something that should not happen in a country where things are supposed to be fair. The man says that he gave money to a ranking government official to ruin the career of one of the best police generals in the country. This was not about putting the general in jail for doing something or looking into real bad things he did. It was about stopping the general from doing his job because he was doing it well. The general they wanted to hurt was Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. The government official who was involved in this was Mkhwanazi, who in charge of the South African Police Service. This confession is already there for everyone to see. It is very clear. People cannot deny it. The confession is just waiting for someone to do something about it. The thing is, this confession is already public. This thing that has been revealed is really scary. It is not just that bad people have money or no politicians. What is more frightening is that they really understand how the system works. They know the system well, that they can manipulate it to do what they want. They can even turn the organizations that are supposed to stop crime into weapons to quiet the people who are against them. That is why every word of this confession is important. Each little thing that is said shows how much corruption there is in the system. The corruption of the system is what this confession is really about. The corruption of the system is what makes this so bad. The man on camera does not seem scared or worried. He looks really happy. He talks about his vacation to Gordon's Bay in a casual way. He even complains about something that would bother a lot of people. He has to use escorts from Kenilworth instead of the expensive ones he likes. He talks about this like it is a small problem with his business. Then all of a sudden his voice changes. This is the part of the conversation that's really scary. He starts talking about Sinchu, calling him my guy. Says that Sinchu is finally going to do something about Mkhwanazi. He then says it out. He had to give Chinu a lot of money. This was not a bit of money but a really big amount. He says he even bought Chino a BMW. He also paid for 3 women to spend time with him. These things were not normal payments. They were like presents to say thank you and to celebrate that everything went well with what they were trying to do. He did all this for Chinu. So we have to ask, why would a mafia boss need to pay a minister to look into a police general? The answer the mafia boss gives is really simple. It is also very scary. He says he told them, you are next. This means a lot. Mkhwanazi was not just going after people who hijack planes, sell drugs, or are low-level members of a crime group. He was going up higher and higher, looking at the clues and following them up. Getting really close to the people at the top, the politicians who actually make money from all the trouble they are supposed to stop. The mafia boss saw what was happening. He knew that if Mkhwanazi kept going, he would not just catch the guys, but he would also show everyone the whole system that was helping to keep them safe. So the mafia boss went to the politicians, told them something that sounded like good advice, but was really a warning. Stop Mkhwanazi or he will come after you next. It seems that was all it took. Fear is something that can really motivate people, especially when they have things they want to keep hidden. People with secrets are often driven by fear. This fear can be a very powerful thing for these people with secrets. The mafia boss is really happy about what's happening. He thinks it is pretty obvious. Mkhwanazi goes after people like criminals and politicians. And now Mkhwanazi is being investigated himself. The mafia boss finds it funny. It is funny because Mkhwanazi is being treated like a guy. Mkhwanazi is a police officer, and he is being looked at closely while the really bad people are not being touched. That is what the mafia boss thinks is so funny. It is like the whole thing is backwards. Mkhwanazi is supposed to protect people. Now he is the one being targeted. The bad people, the criminals, are acting like they are in charge and getting to decide what happens to Mkhwanazi. The man is really full of himself. At the same time, he is showing that he is not as strong as he seems. He says that there is one thing that could mess up his plan. If people get really mad and stand up to the politicians, he is scared of what the people might do. The man is afraid that if enough people realize what is going on and demand that someone does something about it, the whole thing will fall apart. That is why he says that he hopes the public will not speak out. The people who are doing things are hoping that everyone will just stay quiet. They do not want the public to say anything because that would get in the way of their plan. The man and the other criminals are praying for silence from the public. People should stay focused on things, not pay attention to what is really going on and not care about the truth. They want people to remain distracted, disengaged and disconnected from the truth. This is not the time something like this has happened. It is part of a problem that has been going on for years, especially in KwaZulu-Natal. In KwaZulu-Natal, people are used to hearing about violence. It does not even surprise them anymore. Mkhwanazi has been working in a dangerous place for police. KwaZulu-Natal has a lot of crime, but it also has people getting killed because of politics. Councillors get murdered because of money from tenders. People who try to tell the truth are silenced before they can say anything. African National Congress members even kill African National Congress members because they want power and money. This is not just people fighting in gangs. It is when a small area is taken over by crime and the government, and they work together as one. Organized crime and the government have basically become the thing in this area. Mkhwanazi was one of the people who really tried to do something about the problems. He went into police stations, took action because some of these police stations had become places where criminals could hide. He broke up groups of criminals that had been allowed to operate for a time because they had connections with powerful people. Mkhwanazi looked at the evidence, followed it no matter where it took him, even if it meant looking at powerful people. That is why the team to look into the killings was formed. This team was not doing things on its own. It was actually set up by the president because the situation in KwaZulu-Natal had become very bad. Mkhwanazi was in charge. The task team was doing a great job. They were catching people and stopping criminal networks. The families of the victims were finally getting the justice they deserved. Then something weird happened. A letter showed up out of nowhere. It told the commissioner to break up the task team. Nobody told the public about this. Nobody said why it was happening. Mkhwanazi did not even get to see the letter himself. He found out about it when he saw it on the news. The task team was doing well under Mkhwanazi's leadership. Now everything was being shut down. The man asked the commissioner if she knew about the letter. What she said was really surprising. She told him she was on vacation and did not know anything about it. There was a letter that was supposed to be from the Minister of Police. It said to shut down a team that worked for the president. The National Commissioner did not know about this letter. This made people want to know something's away. Who wrote the letter? Who said it was okay to send it? Why did they not tell the people who were supposed to make it happen? The National Commissioner and her team should have known about the letter from the Minister of Police. They did not know anything about it. Mkhwanazi later explained in an interview that someone who he did not know but was obviously very important had told the minister what to do. This person was scared of what the investigations would find out about them. They knew that the truth was going to come out. So they came up with a plan. Get rid of the team, stop the investigations, and keep the people involved in the network safe. Mkhwanazi said that the investigations were the problem, and that is why someone wanted to stop the team from doing their job. The goal was to protect the network and the people in it. This action caused a problem with the South African Constitution. The South African Constitution has a section called Section 207 that says the National Commissioner along with the executives is in charge of policing in each province. In KwaZulu-Natal, Mkhwanazi had to answer to a lot of people, around 12 million people. His job was to manage the things that the police did in his area, like investigations. When someone from outside his team gave him an order without talking to him, or explaining why, that was not bad management. It was an attempt to undermine the way policing is supposed to work according to the South African Constitution. The South African Constitution is what guides the police. This action went against it. The policing structures that are in place because of the South African Constitution were being deliberately undermined. The timing of the letter is just right with what the Mafia boss said when he confessed. When the people who were investigating got close to some important people, things started to get tough for them. Not after that Mkhwanazi himself was in trouble. In the year 2021, Mkhwanazi made a decision that got a lot of people talking. He said that crime intelligence boss Feroz Khan did not do anything in a big case about cocaine that was worth 700 million rand. Some people thought that Feroz Khan should have been in trouble. Mkhwanazi looked at the facts and decided that there was not enough proof to take him to court. Not after that the Independent Police Investigative Directorate started looking into Mkhwanazi. They said he did something when a person was arrested in the year 2023. The news about this was over the place. Mkhwanazi's name was in all the headlines. It was not good for him. And the people who were investigating Mkhwanazi stopped because they did not find anything to prove that he did something wrong. The person did not get in trouble with the law. The damage was already done. That is how people ruin someone's reputation. They do not need to prove anything. Just making people question the person is enough. Character assassination is a thing. Doubt about the person is all that is needed. The fact that people doubt them is enough to cause harm. Character assassination works by making people unsure about the person. The story stops here for a minute. The people making this want you to do something. They want you to subscribe to the channel and talk to them. You should also comment on what you think and share it with others. They think it is very important for people to talk about things because when we talk about something, it gets around faster than when we do not say anything. This is why public engagement is so important. It helps spread the truth, and truth spreads when people are talking about it. Like when you subscribe and engage with the channel and comment on what you think. Going back to what the Mafia boss said, one thing really catches my attention. The Mafia boss says that the only thing that can mess up his plan is people getting really upset about it. These Mafia people are not scared of the police. They have already paid people off to get out of trouble. What the Mafia people are really scared of is the public knowing what is going on and speaking out about it. The Mafia boss is scared of the public being informed, and the public being vocal. This is a moment for South Africa. It is a test to see if people in South Africa really care about corruption. We have a recording of someone saying they did something. So far, nothing has happened. This is a test for the newspapers and television, for the people in Parliament, and for the groups that are supposed to investigate these things. We know some names. We know some details about what happened. There is talk of money and gifts and a car, a BMW. Some people are even saying that prostitutes were involved and that people worked together to cause trouble. Even with all of this information, nobody has been held accountable. Since China has not said anything about this. The people in Parliament have not started asking questions. The media is not giving this story the attention it deserves. The person who is accused of being a Mafia boss is still walking around free and acting like they do not have a care in the world. The Mafia boss is still there doing what they want. South Africa needs to take a look at corruption and make sure that people are held accountable for their actions, especially the Mafia boss. This is what state capture looks like in 2024. State capture is not a secret anymore. State capture is recorded for everyone to see. Now the big question is what will be done about state capture. Mkhwanazi is not shown as perfect. Nobody is perfect. Not police officers. This is not about the personal mistakes that Mkhwanazi makes. It is about whether bad people can use the justice system to hurt the people who are supposed to keep us safe, like Mkhwanazi. If someone important like a general can be hurt by this, what chance do people like whistleblowers, activists, or honest public servants like Mkhwanazi have? The message they are sending is really clear. You have to do what they say. You have to take the money they offer. They will make sure you are ruined. The message is simple. It is saying that you have to comply with what they want. You have to accept the bribes they are giving, or the message from them is that you will be destroyed. The Mafia boss might have made a mistake. When he recorded what he did, the Mafia boss may have said much. Now everyone can see the evidence. What happens to the Mafia boss next depends on if people want the Mafia boss to be held accountable, or if people just forget about the Mafia boss and the story. This thing is bigger than Mkhwanazi. It is about if South Africa is a country where people follow the law or if bad people are in charge. We have proof. It comes from the person involved. The big question is what people will do about it. South Africa is at a crossroads. People need to think about what kind of country they want it to be. The situation with South Africa is very serious. People are worried about the future. South Africa needs to decide if it wants to be a place where the law matters or if it will let criminals take over. The Mafia boss said public action could ruin his plan. So the choice is clear. Either silence prevails or accountability does. The future of justice in South Africa depends on which path is chosen.